Welcome to Lemon-Squeezy Education. This video is an evaluation of Milgram's study. So Milgram wanted to find out whether ordinary people would harm another person because an authority figure had told them to, and he found that 65% of people were willing to deliver a potentially lethal electric shock to another person. Milgram also carried out several variations of the study, changing factors like location, proximity, and uniform to observe their effects on obedience. So, Milgram's study has been heavily criticised for the ethical issues involved, with the main concern being deception. Participants believed they were taking part in a study about memory and learning, and they also believed that the electric shocks were real. So, because they didn't know the true aim of the study, they couldn't give fully informed consent. Another ethical issue is psychological harm. Many participants became visually distressed. Some sweated, trembled, laughed nervously, or even experienced seizures. Although no real electric shocks were given, participants believed they'd seriously harmed another person, and this caused significant emotional distress. There were also concerns about the right to withdraw. Technically, participants could leave at any time. However, when they did try to stop, the experimenter used verbal prompts, such as "the experiment requires that you continue." Some psychologists argue that these prompts made participants feel that they couldn't withdraw freely. However, it can also be argued that Milgram did take several steps to reduce the harm caused. At the end of the study, participants were debriefed, they were told that the learner had not been harmed, and the true purpose of the experiment was explained. Many participants met the learner afterwards to see that they were completely unharmed. Milgram also followed up participants months later, and 84% were said that they were glad that they'd taken part. This suggests that although the study caused short-term distress, there was little evidence of long-term psychological harm. So while the ethics remain controversial, the lasting effects might not have been as severe as critics first believed. One limitation of Milgram's study is its sample, so he recruited 40 male volunteers from one area of America. Women were not included, nor were people from different cultures or age groups, so this means that the findings might not generalise to the wider population. However, one strength of Milgram's study is that it had high levels of control. The procedure was highly standardised, so every participant had the same shock generator, the same scripted responses from the learner, and the same verbal prompts from the experimenter, which makes the study very easy to replicate. In fact, Milgram himself carried out many variations while changing just one variable at a time, such as proximity or location. So because everything else stayed the same, he could be much more confident that differences in obedience were caused by the variable he'd changed. And this increases the internal validity of the study. Another strength is that participants genuinely believed that the situation was real. If participants had realised the shocks were fake, they would have had little reason to become so distressed. This suggests their behaviour reflected genuine obedience rather than simply acting. A psychologist called Jerry Berger carried out a partial replication of Milgram's study in 2009. To make it more ethical, participants only continued up to 150 volts, as Milgram found that this was the point where most people decided that they didn't want to continue. Berger found very similar results as to Milgram. So this suggests that the tendency to obey legitimate authority figures has remained consistent over time. The replication also increases confidence that Milgram's original findings were reliable. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe for more videos.